Willie D Live.
Let's talk about Ice-T. Ice-T went on record and straight up said, I love Pop. I was friends with Pop, but I just like the more aggressive SHIT. When I first heard Where My Dog's At, I was like, yo, who the F is this? Ladies and gentlemen, Ice-T believes DMX was a better rapper than Tupac. What y'all think about that? Give me a thumbs up if you're riding with Pop. 2 thumbs up if you agree with Ice-T and say, nah, man, DMX got it. Let me see what y'all think. Let me see what y'all saying. See what y'all saying. My thoughts. Oh, man. First of all, I knew DMX. That was my friend. This is crazy. This is a crazy take. So DMX was my friend. I like Pop. I like the aggressive stuff. But that's why I also like Pac. Pac had the aggressive stuff and he had the smooth player stuff. My favorite guy, overall, Tupac. Overall, Tupac. Love both of those guys. Both of them brought so much to the table. What's going on here? What is this? Get that out of there. Yeah, so much of these guys brought so much to the table. So much to the table. Pac with his, that's street anthems, the talking about politics and the system, and being relatable about the women, showing his vulnerabilities, and that's another thing about DMX. He did the same thing. Both of these guys allowed themselves to be vulnerable on record, and DMX obviously was the more aggressive, because even on his anthems for women, he was aggressive. That was Keisha and Sean. Like DMX was like the Teddy Pendergrass of hip hop. He's like always aggressive, right? Always on 10. So I absolutely loved what he brought to the table. The thing is that I think when it comes down to these favorites, people got to get off the gas and understand that these are personal choices, fam. And you can't get mad at somebody's personal choice. It's Ice-T's personal choice. Ice-T believes that, Pac is, that DMX is better than Pac. For him, it's his personal choice. And here's the thing, fam. I hear a lot of people talking about top 5 this, top 10, top 20. I surmise that whoever you have in your top whatever and whoever's your favorite is probably the one that you listen to the most. It's probably whoever you listen to the most. I see people doing these top something lists all the time, and people get mad every single time. These are personal choices. Now, I can see when people get mad when these magazines or blogs do it, because most of them know what the hell they're talking about. And a lot of times they're biased. They're really biased, because they'll go into a room and they'll have, let's say, they might have a whole room of writers, and every single dude that's writing be from the East Coast. Well, you know who their number one guy gonna be, right? It's gonna be an East Coast rapper. And you know who mostly they're gonna have in their top whatever. it's going to be East Coast rappers. If you likewise do the same, and that publication is based on the West Coast and they have West Coast writers, they're going to have West Coast in their top. Same thing with the South. If they from the South, it's going to have top, most of the artists going to be from the South. Haven't seen that happen yet. Well, I've seen it happen on a couple of blogs, but other than that, not any of the major publications. They're usually East Coast East Coast writers, So you can't get caught up in all of that kind of stuff, fam. But those top whatever list, when they're written by magazines, major publications or whatever, they do have some weight, because for people that don't really understand hip hop, don't know nothing about it, or who are on the fence, who really ain't got their own opinion, they can easily be swayed by the opinion of others. They can easily be swayed. And in their mind, ooh, such and such is top guy. And whoever they say is top guy is top guy. And it's always been like that, but it's even worse today. Most of these publications that are out today, especially the big one, I'm talking about the big ones especially, they don't know a damn thing about hip hop. They don't know nothing about hip hop. No, I mean zero. Their writers are straight up trash. They don't know nothing about hip hop. So these guys, you can't really trust what they're saying. You can only go by your personal experiences, fam. You go by your personal experience, your personal likes. This is Ice-T's personal like. This is what Ice-T said. This is who he likes. This is who he likes. Your personal choice is going to be who you ever listen to the most. Whoever you listen to the most, that's probably going to be your favorite rapper. Whoever you listen to the most is probably going to be your favorite rapper. It's going to be at least in your top 5 or your top 10 or whatever. Whoever you listen to the most, that's who's probably going to be in your top 5, your top 10 or whatever. And it's damn sure if you're in your 40s or 50s, it ain't going to be no new dude. It's going to be those guys who you grew up on, who gave you that nostalgia, who you remember driving from college on that road trip with back to the house, and who you stuck into that deck and you just jammed all the way through and put it on repeat. It's going to be the one when you met your girl, or you got into a little drama, or you was making those moves, dropping off those packs. It's going to be that dude, right? That's who's going to be in your top 5, top 10 or whatever, because that's that nostalgia. That's the one that tapped into your conscious. So Ice-T saying that DMX is his favorite guy don't bother me at all, because how can you argue with that anyway? Both of these guys were great at what they did. They did it better than anybody. Both of them. You can't lose either way. You can't lose if you go with DMX. You can't lose if you go with Pop. Both of them put it on the line. Both of them had passion. Both of them, brought a certain energy that cannot be duplicated by anybody. But Pac was the guy. DMX was my friend, but Pac was that guy for me as far as like listening to hip hop, and as far as that main guy that I listened to the most, it was Pac. And I think also because he was so relatable to my experiences, stuff that I went through. It was relatable. So, and he could talk about various issues and be on point. Like I never myself was a one-trick pony. I could cover politics. I could cover the women. I could cover street activity. I could cover social issues, and I can go on and on like hell. So I appreciated Pac's diversity, how he could easily switch gears and just, if he wanted to make some music to make you feel good, make you feel proud, boom, he in pocket. He, you want to make something that a tearjerker, he could hit you with a tearjerker, make you feel sad. Something to motivate you, he had the motivation. He had it. You want to cover politics, boom, he in pocket. Every single time he switched gears, he was in pocket, and he did it at the highest level. So I ain't got no problem with it. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.